Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kalan from White Glove Models. I hope you guys are all doing well. I am just going to do a couple quick things here. Um, Still kind of new to this whole streaming thing. I always forget to do stuff like there. And then I think you all know who I am. So, whoa, that's huge. Huge. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up chat here so I can see how everybody's doing. It's so we have KX4 Gaming and Dano's Universe. How are you all doing today? And that's probably a notification that that I'm live. So hey, Hugh, how are you doing? Hugh Gordon is in the chat. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. So basically, kind of the thought process here is it's really difficult for me to try to do the Sunday morning coffee with Kalan. So what I was thinking was just doing instead of calling it morning coffee, just doing a Monday coffee with Kalan segment. And hi, Nat, how are you? Thanks for joining us. And just doing the instead of doing the Sunday morning coffee with Kalan, I was just thinking of doing a Monday coffee with Kalan or something at about 10 o'clock my time, which for those of you over in the UK, it's think about 6 o'clock or so. And then for everybody else on the East Coast here in the US, it's about noon or 1 o'clock. So for some people, it might not work, but right now with my with me being out until I have surgery on my back, I have the time on Mondays, and usually I'm free Mondays anyway. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at with that. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to do today. I have a few different things on the workbench that I'm trying to finish up before the new year, just because I have a load of group builds that I'm going to be doing, as well as some other things I'd like to get worked on. The GTO, most likely not going to get that finished this year, but sometime early next year, I will get the GTO finished. I'm thinking about buying another body and starting over on the body on that. The 37 Chevrolet is something I could work on tonight or today, possibly. And then the Messerschmitt, I just have a couple little things to do with paint on that, which is kind of boring for you guys to watch. So I was thinking of maybe for the Monday. Hi, Sarah Jane. Thanks for joining us. So I don't know where I want the Monday copies to go. It can change, and it would also be nice maybe down the road if I could have somebody join me in on the stream so that way I could actually do some work as well as pay attention to chat and kind of do all that and have somebody to bounce off of, if you know what I mean, because it's a lot easier for me to have somebody to actually talk with. But we'll figure that out. For right now, I have a couple of different builds that over here that we do have as options to do. And what I could do is I could either do a specific build on Mondays, or it could just be more of a hangout and chat, and then just kind of keep a progress report of what I've been doing. Really, I guess, what do you guys think? And how would you like to see? What do you guys want to see from me? I guess is what I'm asking. So I'm going to leave that open. I do have the Arizona, which I want to start. I've been meaning to start it this month, but I need to get these other builds that I have started out of the way. I have the Land Rover as well, which I'm going to try to finish up before the end of the year. It's pretty much there. I just need to finish filming some stuff. And then this is a 1700 kit, New Orleans. Really tiny kit, but I am excited to build it. So hi, Lewis. So this is that one that I told you about. You called it the box scale or whatever. It's 1/426 scale. And so it's an odd size, and the only reason I got it was because it was on sale at Hobby Lobby, and I don't know, it'll be a fun build. It's still pretty small, if you can see it there, but I don't know. It's a cool little kit. Yeah, the one, I know you don't like 1/700 scale, but I don't know. I think I'm a glutton for punishment, and I like little tiny builds for some reason. And I eventually want to do like a whole Pearl Harbor diorama with all. I'm trying to source all of the ships or similar ships that were at Pearl Harbor at the time of the attack, and so that's kind of this. The New Orleans wasn't. I have a list of it somewhere. Oh, it's in my book. So it's always good for those of you that ever listen to Kenny over at Hobby Link International. He always says, write everything you down, even when you're mixing paints and stuff like that. And it's been a good habit that I've gotten into. So far, from my understanding, the ships that were in port during the attack on Pearl Harbor was the Arizona, the Oklahoma, the West Virginia, the California, the Nevada, the Maryland, the Pennsylvania, the Tennessee, the Missouri, and then two ships. One was the Helm, which I started doing some research on it, and I think there's a current model out there, but I don't remember if it's in 1/700 scale or not. And then the Utah, which also was that one was being decommissioned or in the process of being decommissioned at the time. So those are the ships that were at Pearl Harbor during that time. And so I just need to find all of those, and over time I'll build that. And I want to do that diorama. Oh, she was built in 1944. I forgot that I can do this, and I can highlight stuff, which is good because I forgot to do that in my last live stream. So let's go check out who all is in here. So KX4 Gaming was early, and I gave them the win for being early. Dano's Universe is in. How you doing? And Hugh Gordon. And of course, Nat Dexterous Crafter. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us, for joining me. And it is 6 p.m. there. Yeah, I kind of figured because it's 8 hours. And Sarah Jane is in. Hi, Kaylin, only watching, but done a thumbs up. Thank you so much, Sarah Jane. Good to see you. And that's pretty much everybody that I see right here. The other one that I was thinking, if you guys want me to do a specific build on Mondays for the time being, a chronoplan would be kind of a fun one to do too, because it's really big. It would be easy for you guys to see on the overhead. But again, it's kind of up to you in the viewers on how you want this to go. So if you guys want it more of a just kind of take it as it goes and work on whatever I'm working on, or maybe find something, pick one of these kits to build during the Mondays. So just let me know. And Battleship Row. So KX4 Gaming. So I want to build it. It would be big. And it would be the entire Battleship Row, and then the airfield that was right there, and then there was a bunch of different outbuildings and stuff like that. And they do make some diorama stuff, but I think I could build a lot of it from scratch. So this is like a 10-year project down the road. So that's kind of the thought that I had in my head. So I'm just reading chat here, just about, because they were talking about Christmas. I like Christmas, but I'm ready for Father Christmas to come for the kids. And then here, I forget I can do this. I'm so new to this. It's like, and then, oh, and then Lewis said, "You're letting Father Christmas take the kids." I thought you guys would be happy with that. KX4 Gaming, are you just thinking of doing Battleship Row? We kind of talked about that. Even in 1.7, it would be a huge project, and it would look cool. I think it would take up the space of maybe like a 6 by, like I think I could fit it in a 4x6 like table. I don't know. So anyhow, the Messerschmitt. Let me go ahead and pull that out so you guys can kind of see where we're at with it. And then I have the decks to the. That's the other thing. We could actually do the Bismarck tonight just for fun. I could do pack 1 of it. I'm dreading it still. So yes, Sarah Jane. When I do it, I want to get all the aircraft, and they I think it's Trumpeter that, or somebody sells all of the 1/700 scale ships, or I mean aircraft, and so I could get all the aircraft. It's just a matter of having to paint every single one, but they're really tiny, like super tiny. So I'm just not getting my hopes up until she says yes. She enjoys shattering my hopes. That's true. She's got to keep you in line somehow. So I'm going to switch cameras here real quick if I can figure out how to do that without messing everything up. So the Messerschmitt, as far as I'm concerned, it's done, other than the fact that I need to, let's see if it'll show up there. It kind of wanted to. I need to take the tape off the canopy, so I got the final flat clear on it, and basically the weathering is done as far as I wanted to do it, and I went ahead and locked that in with the final coat of clear. And I just need to unmask the canopy. I need to finish painting this little mast, and then do the lines, the black metal bands that were around the cockpit there, the canopy, and then just run the cables from the mast to the tail fins there, and then she's all done. And it's really tiny, and a lot of the wings aren't quite accurate. There's a lot that's not accurate, but for a 1/4/4 scale, I would say it looks pretty good for, just being a little desk jockey. Basically, it's just gonna sit in a case, and I could always use this for a diorama down the road. So that's where that is at. And then, so this is the deck, the bow deck of the Bismarck. And I am not terribly happy with the gray that I put on there. So what I was thinking, because I'm still torn. I've heard so many different things about it being painted over, or a gray tarp was over the top of it at the time that it sunk, and that I want it to kind of be representing the day that it went down. And if there was a tarp over that, that's really easy to do. I can do a tarp. I just need to be careful of where the rails and anything else might attach, that I don't cover all of that up. And I almost feel like it's a little bit too dark. And I was going to ask you, Lewis, what do you basically what you're seeing on this camera is what I'm seeing. It might, to my eye, it seems a little bit darker than it does on the camera. But overall, I think I'm kind of happy with it, and I'm just ready to let it go and be what it is. But now I have to try to weather the rest of the ship. And I'm going to do a lot of that after I start putting stuff together, just because that'll be easier. So I was thinking about doing a Bismarck video later this week, unless you guys want me to try doing it live on camera, which I'm happy to do right now. I just need to pull up the destructions on the side. So that is that one. And then I also, for the Messerschmitt, I already painted the plaque, kind of a black color. It's more of a dark gunmetal. And then I was going to do everything else, the lettering, and then the frame around it. I was going to use the flat aluminum by Tamiya, but I don't know, you can't see that. Anyways, you'll just have to take my word for it. I'm kind of on the fence about doing the flat, but I might repaint this in like a glossy color, and then change the color on this. But I can always do that down the road too, if I just don't like how it turns out. You like it? Yeah, I'm fairly happy with it, Lewis. I just the only thing that bugs me is this, and I have time. I could always if I am to put a tarp on it, I can always make the tarp out of tissue paper down the road. It doesn't have to be right now. So the best thing is I can start putting it together. And I'm way behind everybody else. So I'm going to take a look at chat real quick. Oh, this was another one too. We have this wooden kit that I think would be kind of fun to build. I just don't know when to build it. So I don't know. I was thinking I'd give you guys some options and see what you guys think. Sorry, I needed, excuse me, some water. Let's head back to chat for a second. Unfortunately, Santa won't take the kids, but I might send them with the one-way ticket to Kalan. Oh my gosh, Connor would love it, but he'd be terrified. He'd be in tornado country. Come for the kid, not kids. The one called Lewis. Santa's coming for me, and I'll be goodness divorce. I'm free. Definitely a big typo. Sarah Jane said, Santa needs someone to clear up all the reindeer poo. And I was just listening to somebody this morning talking about that. It was kind of a crude song or something, and I was like, oh my gosh, because the Santa tramples reindeer poo all over your house. Let's see. Considering that you can see the swastikas on the wreck, I'd say it was tarped. I think you're right, but they had literally painted it from so here's the thing is the crewman that survived said it was tarped. Other people say it was painted over like the day before or 2 or 3 days before that, before it sank. So that paint would have been pretty fresh. So I don't know. I just, and again, I have time to think about it. So I don't think I'm going to worry about it too much at this point, because I can always throw a tarp. The thing that bugs me about this, and this is just my OCD killing me, is when you look at pictures of the Bismarck a few days before it sunk, because this did look painted over, but you could see the white circle, and I didn't put that on there. And when you look at this, you can kind of see the deck underneath it. And there's no white circle. And so it's something I could easily maybe just come back and do later on, but I just need to quit worrying about it, I think, and just start building it and get on with it. Because I'm going to have a lifetime to fix this. So that's, I guess, the way I'm starting to look at it now, and just not worry about all that crazy stuff all right now. But I do like this. I like the color of the decks that I've done way better than the way they show up to you, because that they were just really, they looked like plastic. They just didn't look good. And this is really my first time trying to weather decking like this and kind of put that teak look into it. So I don't think I did too bad. I could have done better in a few areas. And then Lewis was telling me maybe kind of get this glossy a little bit more on the sides and on the bow, which makes a lot of sense to me, because if it was, the wash from the ocean and the spray and all that would get up there and kind of make it look a little bit more wet. So this is where I need somebody else on my stream so they can talk when I don't have something to say. I am going to have some coffee though. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I'm going to try to, I'm going to pick something here since you guys aren't picking for me. The only thing I kind of don't want to do at the moment is paint on live stream, just because I will get really quiet. Excuse me, and I kind of get really focused when I'm painting, and I have to get it really close to me so I can see what I'm doing. So painting isn't really going to be an option, but I do have everything here to. Oh, I also have the Ladder 9 truck that I could start. As a matter of fact, we're just going to do that. So how do you guys feel about the beginning of the Ladder 9? I'm going to try it on live stream. So let me put all this stuff away, and I will pull out the Ladder 9, and that's what we're going to be doing today on live stream. My very first build on live stream. Sorry, my chair is very old and broken, so it makes a lot of fun noises. So just for my own mental satisfaction, I need to clear off my workbench. So I will be right back. So here we have the FDNY fire truck. This is the ladder 9, and so this is basically what you end up getting with the first pack, and it's just a fold out poster, which is, you know, it's just basic. That's one thing I gripe about a lot, especially with Agora models and all of the part builds. How hard would it be to roll up the poster and mail it to you in a tube? Because to me, this is worthless. I can't do anything with this. But anyways, that's just my one little gripe. So I do need to pull it up. I have the files on my computer for the build on this. And what I'll do is I will switch over to this camera here. That way you guys can see my happy face while I try to pull up the file here. So Dano is asking what scale is the fire truck? So that's a good question. It's kind of been a debate amongst the community, and worth thinking it's maybe in the 1/24th scale. Maybe like 1/30. We're not really sure. It's pretty small when it's built, so it's not like the other part work builds, like the 1/8 scales. Well, like the Ecto 1 is massive, and then you've got the Eleanor, which is still pretty big for that's either 1/12 or 1/8 scale. I can't remember, but the Eleanor is still pretty big. And then the ladder truck is roughly 22 or 24 inches long. So 23 inches, so 58 centimeters. The longest part of the ladder truck is the ladder, and I don't remember what it telescoped out to be honest. It's been a while since I did my research on this. But yeah, it's not as big, but it's really cool. It's a decent size, because I think if you went any bigger, it would just weigh a ton. So, and they also eliminated some of the panels that you would expect to be die cast are plastic. Like I think the roof is plastic, and I was thinking that would be metal, but turned out it's not. Mary 1970, hi, how are you? Thanks for joining. Good to see you. You've been popping out videos like crazy. I've been seeing them popping up. Thanks for joining us. And okay, I'm not going to read that out loud. I don't want to get slapped by Nat when I see her in 2025 at Telford. Okay, so here is the file for the ladder truck, and I just need to make sure. So pack 1 was the only one I have. And kind of a neat thing here that I just discovered the other day, and I think I can do this is share my screen. I am. I'm afraid of her. I don't know her that well yet. She might hunt me down and knock me out or something. So there's a way to share your screen on, oh, right here, I found it. Got it. So what I'm going to do, just because this is kind of fun and exciting for me. So I think you guys are seeing the screen. Yes. So I think what I see, you see. And can everybody hear me okay? Because I have the camera that's picking up the mic is over here. And I'm going to be talking this way. So wise decision, I know. If you're anything like my wife, I know better. So you guys are seeing this is the PDF file that we get with the builds now, because they're not going to be doing the magazines from my understanding. And just the typical advice that they give you, don't eat the parts or anything like that. And you'll be starting your first pack by assembling one of the rear wheels and the hose. Being a firefighter, I already have an issue with the hose, so we're going to try to rectify that, because I need to see if it's even the right color, because on my department we use two different color hoses. We have yellow and we have orange, and the yellow is always the first one out, and the orange is usually the second one out, something like that. And they're just hooked up to different pumps, and that way the pump operator can know where to send water to, basically. So it's just simple instructions. These tires, you don't have to heat them up, which is nice, because on the other builds, for those of you building them, like Nat's doing the drawing a blank, that truck, the Eddie Stobart, and you have to heat up the tires, and they tell you to do it in water. I always use a hair dryer, but these ones you don't have to worry about, and they want you to use super glue on everything. So I'm going to make sure I have super glue. And then here's your hose. This is what I'm talking about there. This is kind of a green or black hose, and I don't remember what New York uses. So I wanted to double check that and see what hose is actually on ladder 9, because I don't think it's black. And they're calling it black hose. It looks more green, kind of a greenish black to me. And I haven't even pulled it out. So we'll pull it out and take a look at it and move forward. So maybe I don't know. Do you think the best way to do this is just for me to leave the destructions up on the screen? That way I can see them better, because I'm not looking behind me while I'm building it. So I'm going to try that for this time. If you guys don't like it, just let me know. And or actually no, because you're going to want to, there might be a way to switch this. So the screens, let me see. No. Yeah, that might work, because then you can still see the build. Because yeah. All right, hold on. I'm going to check chat real quick. Lewis is getting a stocking of coal for Christmas at this rate. Yeah, my wife and I have already agreed that I already bought my Christmas presents when I bought a bunch of models. So I was kind of in the doghouse a little bit for that, but I just told her to go, just spend the equal amount of money on something that she wants, and should work out. So hopefully, I don't know if I can move this. So hopefully you'll be able to, I don't have my cameras quite set up. I'm going to take down the banner here. I don't know how to, how do I hide my name? Oh, well. That's right. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And I thought I had them organized when I put them back in, but you get all kinds of, for now, let's get the instructions off the screen. And go into brand. Got it. There. Okay, cool. Thanks, Nat. See, I can still learn stuff from you. So there, pack 1 comes with 8 different things, and we kind of went over this on a different live stream on everything that you get, but this is going to be pack 1. So obviously I will start with pack 1, and then you've got all your, this is 7, 6. So what I think I'll do is I will grab the first 2, and we're going to start with that. And then number 8 is, this is a really cool guide for all of the different screws that you will need during the build, which is a pretty cool resource to have. And then you get a little screwdriver, which I'm not going to worry about right now, because it would be nice to get a little bit something done. And just for fun, actually, I think I'll grab the first 3 and we'll move forward with that. Hi, Scale Model Muse. How are you? It's good to see you, Marcy. Sets the coffee pot in the middle of the table. Exactly. I've got my coffee. So cheers. All right. So moving on, we will, and I apologize if I don't get to chat, just because I'm going to be focusing on the build. And again, this is kind of my first time attempting this, which will still be a lot of fun. So at least for me. And let me see, get that out of the way. And I've got my knife ready. Let's go ahead and get pack 1 opened up. So this is pretty exciting for me because I haven't even looked at these parts in great detail yet. So it'll be really nice to, I don't think I even need my knife, to just really see kind of how these parts are going to look. I watched World of Mike this morning because I could not sleep last night, and I watched World of Mike this morning, and he just the excitement that he had when he saw his fire truck and all the parts was just so awesome. I really enjoyed his reaction to it because it's nice to know that, especially, I don't know how different fire services are, like our fire service is from other countries. And I know you over in the UK, you guys have a lot of different style trucks than we do. So it's kind of cool to see other people's reactions to getting their hands on a kit like this. So this is basically this goes up on the tower of the ladder, and I'm not going to take it out of the plastic because I already know I'm not going to be using this, but just give you guys a really quick look at it. Tower ladder 9, and this is all metal. So I'm just going to, for time's sake, leave this over here. And according to the instructions, I'm going to have a couple of tires. And so this looks like one of the wheels, probably for the rear of the truck, because it's 2 wheels and tires that connect together. And for those of you that don't know, kind of I have a Facebook page that I haven't made public yet, just because I hadn't really started this build yet. But I am donating my fire truck that I build to my fire department. We have a museum that is actually really cool. So for the town that we live in, for being such a little tiny town, our fire department has a really cool history. And so we have a entire museum with a bunch of our old engines in it and some replicas of engines that we used to own, some old American LaFrance engines. And so this would be really cool in the museum, especially for when kids come from the school. And we are talking about adding a few extra features to it, with a couple of people over in the UK that do mods. We have Chloe over at Model Mods, and she has some brilliant ideas for this. And just to make water pump through it, so we can actually raise the ladder and have it shoot water, which is really awesome. And a few other things. All the lights are going to work. We're actually going to have more lights working on it than come with the kit. So that's going to be really cool. And then the department, my department chief, our chief, he has asked if I would try to make a couple of models of plastic models or resin of some of our retired engines. And so I'm kind of in the middle of trying to source those. Which will be a lot of fun. Rusty Racing's in the house from Maine. How's it going? Good to see you. That's right. So we're going to go ahead and start with step 1, which looks fairly easy. And I'm going to try to be a little more careful than I am when I'm filming these on my own, and actually read the instructions so that I don't make any mistakes. So basically they're saying push the inner wheel into one of the rear tires so that the tire rim tucks snugly around the groove of the wheel. If the tire is very tight, try soaking it in hot water bath for a minute. Of course, there goes that hot water bath. I'm just going to try to warm it up a little bit with my hands. Yeah, thanks, Muse. I really I don't know how possible it's going to be for. We have an engine it's an old Seagrave, and it's a 1960. I have the notes for it here somewhere in my pile of goodness here, but it's like a 1971 or 1961, and then I have a 1951 Seagrave, and the 51 is an open cab, and it's a really cool. I have pictures of it on my Facebook, and it's a really cool engine that was in service for a very, very long time. And we're going to restore it and put it in the museum. And so the chief thought it would be cool to have a scale model of it. And I've found similar years that are resin printed. And this whole project might end up leading me into getting into 3D printing myself. So I don't know. I'm trying to avoid that and see if I can source it out. But this table, I'm going to probably have to heat this up. Just after I got done saying that. I didn't see anybody else have to. I'm going to go back to chat for a minute while I let these warm up a little bit. And Lewis was saying, oh, wow, have it actually shooting water 1 point for hitting that, 2 points for each kids. That's right. It would almost be the kind of the way she had it in her mind. Also, part work upgrades. He's trying to come up with a power unit for it, so it's always plugged into a wall instead of batteries, and some other really cool ideas that he's got that Ian has. But yeah, hey Dan, how are you? Dan's in the house. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. But yeah, it would basically the water would basically almost be like a fountain where it would shoot out into maybe a pool and then drain back down and just cycle through the whole unit. So it's probably a good year or two down the road. So let's see. Muse was saying my kids still love the firehouse and they're all 21. Tell them to join. If you guys have a volunteer department, in your city, they could definitely join and do some good with the community. Even with the volunteer departments. I mean, it's you get a lot of good training and a lot of opportunities can open up for you. It's like I've always been fascinated with two things, with helicopters and with fire trucks. So it's kind of I can relate, and I'm 40 years old. So our hands-on museum has some cool stuff. That's really cool. The only thing with our museum that it covers the whole city from the time it started. So it's the county museum, but they don't let you touch anything. There's no hands-on stuff. It's not really fun for kids, but we want to make the fire department museum interactive and fun for kids. And then we'll also be teaching the prevention classes and all that when the kids come down. So that's really cool. So Muse was saying that, so you're going to be getting a couple of 3D printers. That's cool. Yeah, I see the benefit of 3D printers, but I can also see it getting me into a lot of trouble because I would probably spend more time trying to figure out how to make the thing work than I would spending any time building. Nat's been really mean to me, and I've been nothing but a true. That's right, Dan. He's been nothing but a very true gentleman today, and she is just ragging on him. Mark's Mods. Hey, how you doing, Mark? Thanks for joining me. Yeah, I'm really sorry I missed your live stream yesterday. I watched it this morning, and it was a really good show. I really wish I hadn't missed it, but yeah, I'm glad I got to catch it in syndication, as I call it. Sorry, I'm so new to this whole thing that I apologize, and I appreciate your guys' patience with me. But Muse was saying I love both too, and you're older. Yeah, because didn't you just turn like 28, Muse, right? 28 was a good year, man. I wish I could be 28 forever. That was a good time in life. And your grandsons love trucks and cars too. Yeah, I bet. I think a lot of kids are that way. Scaly mods? I didn't see where Mike was in the house. I'll have to scroll up. Innocent little Nat being mean. Making it, yeah, it's, oh, trust me, and it is so much easier to teach when it's interactive. And I'm one of those learners too, all through high school and college and grade school even. I learn when I can physically see, touch, and feel and do something. And it was just easier for me to learn that way. And a lot of our teachers thankfully they recognize that in a lot of us kids growing up, and they made the teaching more fun and interactive. So, and the kids seem to enjoy it more, especially today's kids, when they can, as long as they're not being, the little terrors that they can be and trying to break stuff. But yeah, they seem to enjoy the hands-on approach. I wish I could be 28 again. I would propose to Nat this time, though. No, nope. You said it first. You said, yeah, exactly, Muse. So Hugh Gordon saying hi to Muse. Oh, Hugh. Speaking of Hugh Gordon, oh my gosh, I haven't done anything with these just because. Oh, I just showed you my address, but thankfully that's my PO box, which is public, so you guys can see that. I just don't want to show you Hugh's address, which I probably just did. But I got your stickers, and I am so thankful that I got them. I just haven't put them on my board of adverts yet. I have it's over there because I don't have it on the desk when I'm painting and stuff. So thank you so much for sending these. This will go on my board, and I truly appreciate that. So I really love that design too. You did an awesome job on that. So I put these away. Muse will say most teachers I've had to do with just don't get the, yeah, I know it's, and especially I don't know, I think some of the newer teachers don't quite understand that. And I don't know, a lot of them just don't want to spend that one-on-one time with a student either. And I was fortunate that I had teachers that were willing to take that time to spend with me and to kind of, and also, I mean, because I wasn't the only one in class that they realized needed, especially with math and stuff. Math was, I love math, and I'm really good at it. I just can't write it out. I don't understand how to, my brain just does not understand how to go through all the steps, because my brain automatically like, I don't know how to say it. It like passes all the steps. And so like this new math that my wife's nephews are learning, it's like, why do we need all these steps? It doesn't make sense to me. So it's hard for me to try to teach them anything. That, man, these turned me out to be a liar. They are a pain. Why did everybody else's go? They probably didn't show that they needed to. There we go. That they needed to heat theirs up. That's what I'm sticking with. I'm going to say that. Everybody else is a liar. So there we go. I got one in, and hopefully the other one is still soft enough to go on. Let's see here. Sorry if I miss in chat, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just gonna attempt to make this work here. It's just like almost putting on a real tire. It's just got to work it just a little bit, and then it'll go in. They're all making it look easy with the tweezer and all that. You just pull your tweezer over here and you just drop it in there and everything's good. And you got a happy little tire. No, not even close. So yeah, oh gosh, I can't even remember what it's called. My wife knows. And that new math, oh my goodness. I honestly, I think it confuses more kids than it teaches them anything. Yeah, it's making me work for this one. See, I feel like this tire is not seated on here properly, and I want that bead to come over, but I don't want to screw up my tire because I think this is the outer wheel. And yes, it is. And it is definitely not all the way on there. So what I'm going to do, there we go. Now we're cooking with peanut oil. Got it. It's just going to make me work, kind of like Muse said. See, this is kind of the interesting thing with some of these part work builds is like after you get them all edited down and all that, it makes it look so easy when in reality you spent about 3 hours filming it. So it's always good, I guess, for people to see the true effort you're trying to put into some of these builds. So I'm gonna almost got this back end seated again, and there we go. Look at that. It's a Mother's Day miracle. I'm so happy. And this would go in this way, and I'm sure Lewis has had to I don't know, do you ever have to change your own wheels on your rigs? And see, I'm jumping ahead of the instructions again. I do this all the time. So there we did the second one. And then it says, apply a drop of glue to the flat surface of the inner wheel as shown, and then take the outer wheel and align the 4 fixing pins with the holes on the inner wheel before pushing the 2 wheels together. Press firmly. The inner and outer wheels have been glued together. So yes, I of course jumped ahead because that's what I do. And I'm going to have use glue most of the time. So you'll have to take my word for it. This is this is super glue. But the neat thing about this one is it's on a brush, so I can gently brush it on there and not get too much where I don't want any, and I don't get it on my fingers. I think that's like the main thing, because otherwise I end up getting super glue everywhere. Directions? What directions? See, Lewis was saying, says, no, I don't change them. I work for a big company, so they get another company to do them. Although I feel sorry for the guy parked next to me, as there's an air leak on my trailer. So before I go anywhere. I'll need to rev the engine to build up pressure and start. And I start at 3 a.m. Oh, man. Quantum Man, Dan was saying that he put the DeLorean wheels on the floor and stomped on them. And Mark from Mark's Mods was saying that he was very close to doing that. Yeah, did they tell you in those back at when you did the DeLorean to heat them up and put them in water or whatever? See, that was one build that I thought it was cool, but I just couldn't bring myself to order it because of all the issues I'd heard people had with it, and I just didn't want to. I didn't want to go down that road. You can always build a nice 25th scale DeLorean if I really want to. So now we've got the hose pack, which is right here, and I'll need scissors. And you basically I'm kind of, I need to read the instructions because I'm always do this. Because, I'm a guy, I know better than the instructions, right? So they want you to snip any frayed ends off the free end of the hose. So see these frayed ends, just snip them off and make more frayed ends. And then they want you to apply a little super glue to the rim of the nozzle. Oh, I see. That's interesting. So originally I thought there was there you go. Originally I thought there was a hole in there come on, camera. But there is no hole in there to glue it into. So you're going to actually feed it around the outside of that. And so I'm going to try to get rid of more of this frayed end here. See, it's just, to me, it doesn't matter. You're always going to end up with a little frayed material. And then supposedly let's see if I can do this so you guys can see it. You're just going to glue it to the outside there. And then I guess later on, one thing that does work is you can use, maybe after I super glue it on there, just very carefully just take a lighter and just let it singe that end off. Just try not to set the whole hose on fire. If this was a real fire hose, it would be a little fire resistant, but so I'm going to try to do this without super gluing myself together. And I'm going to remove this comment here. It's way up there. And then so I'll just send, yeah, that's right, Lewis. I'll just send Nat all of my tires and she can put them on for me. Is Nat even watching anymore? Did she leave? I hope not. I'm going to put the glue here. And then I'm going to attempt to do this without gluing my fingers together or gluing my fingers to the fire hose. I wish they had given you more of an like a lip to glue onto, because that just, I don't know. I'm not gonna diss it too much because it's essentially doing the job they want it to. It's just I feel there's got to be a way to make this look more accurate, and so maybe we'll do that down the road just for fun. It needs more photo etch, Lewis. That's what it needs. It needs more photo etch. All right, so I need to find. Oh, there goes all. Okay, I don't know where it went. Somewhere around here, we have a little tiny lighter. That's really weird. I thought I had. Stand by. Oh yeah, but then wouldn't you have that soap residue on there? Like, wouldn't the soap residue be on there? Oh, I know what I have. And these will work just fine. If I can find those. There they are. And the next best thing, I have matches. All right, so let's see if Kalan can light his workbench on fire on Livestream. So just kind of singe it back a bit and just be careful. There. Perfect. It even looks like a real fire hose now. Doesn't smell good in here, but there you go. Throw that in my water up there. Don't try this at home, kids. The super glue is dry, Lewis, I promise. All right, so we've done that step. Gently open either free end. Wow, yeah. Then you take your little tweezers. Yeah, oh my gosh, that I should have singed this end too. You know, never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Might as well. I should have done it while I had it out. Now it's just gonna be extra stinky in here. All right. Again, don't try that at home. So they want you, now this is going to be hard to pinch together. So there you go. They want you to pinch that together. And you're going to stick it into this here end. And I may have just made it harder to do. So what I'm going to do is just really try to crimp these blackened edges. Hopefully I'm not going off camera too much, guys. That was the other thing, is that I assume this is the right length. I didn't see anywhere where it said you would need to cut it down in size. And then you just are supposed to feed it through there. There we go. Kind of want it just a little bit further. There we go. I'm happy with that. And then let's go back to the instructions. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it'll come in like issue 19. They'll say, take that off, unglue that, and and cut it down to this length, and then re-secure it with super glue. If you want a good story about having to undo glue, talk to Lewis. By the way, since everybody is here, and I finally had remembered what, if you do need to release glue on a model, even whether it's super glue or plastic glue or any of those, all you need to do, from my understanding, and you're going to have to take my word for this because I haven't tried it yet, thankfully, but if you get Mark Fit, the Tamiya Mark Fit, and I have all three of them, but I would go ahead and use the Super Strong. And so let's say you have, I don't have here we go. Let's say you have like these wings, you got to remove them for some stupid reason. You got to go back and glue something else in there that you forgot. Just take the Mark Fit and just keep applying it and letting it sit for like maybe a minute or two, and just keep applying it until it starts to loosen up, and then just kind of take it along the edges that are still stuck, and then just work it down, and it'll release that glue. Again, I haven't tested this out, but I've seen it done, and in a couple of videos, and on Hobby Link International on the community, we discussed it the other day, and a few guys have used it, and they said it works wonders. So definitely a good trick to have in your bag just in case. Even if you don't use the Mark Fit for anything else, just have it for instances like those. So that's my tip for the day. And I'm going to drop some super glue down in here. The only thing I wish with this super glue was that it also came with a smaller applicator brush, because that brush is pretty big. But the one thing you can do, and everybody does it, I've seen everybody and their mother do it, is they'll take a little bit of the super glue and put it into a little tray, and then use a cocktail stick or a toothpick. And another thing, I stole this from World of Wayne, just the pin vise with the sewing needle in it. This one's dirty because I have some wood glue on it from when I was doing my paint rack. But just that little tip on there is good for applying little tiny bits of glue. So moving on. Yeah. Marcy, that's funny, because I was to a point when especially with the Ecto 1 and the Enterprise, I was to a point to where I was ready to just cancel them, because I would much rather spend that money on a 1/200, hood, or a really nice, larger scale, plastic model that I could put the money into, and all that detail, and all the Edward accessories and all that, because then you'd be spending about the same money for something that might look even nicer and isn't a headache. Yeah, I actually inherited a bunch of sewing needles and sewing stuff from my grandma. So I kind of have my own little stash of that stuff, so I don't have to steal Melissa's very often. Oh yeah, so what was I doing? I glued that. I applied that. And now we get to roll it up into a little tiny ball. And that's interesting. So I want to make sure that this is going to roll up correctly. So you just start small, and then just kind of neatly, sorry, I want to make sure I'm on camera still. And then one thing that I don't know, Muse, I know you're part of HLI. Lewis is now part of HLI. But something that we're top, Buckman's Model Mania or whatever, we've been it started out kind of as a joke, like maybe doing it. But if you're part of the Discord, the Hobby Link International Discord, we're not going to go live on YouTube just because it's going to be an all-day thing on New Year's. But New Year's on Discord, we're going to have a live video feed all day, and up to 6 people can join at a time, and everybody can join in on chat or just watch it on Discord if they don't want to join in. But basically, starting from midnight until midnight on New Year's Day, we're going to be live streaming from Discord. And if you're a Hobby Link International forum or community member, either ask Kenny or Spencer Wolf as well, or you can just look in the threads on the forum in the community for information on how to join the Discord. And you can pop in, and you don't have to join in on video if you don't want to, but it would be nice if you guys did, or you can just hang out maybe for a few minutes, even if you just have a few minutes during the day on New Year's, to pop in and just say hi to everybody on the Discord. So there will be several of us live streaming pretty much all day. And like I said, if you just pop in or out, that's fine. Just to say hi. And if you want to join the live stream or the video live chat, it's pretty simple. You just come into the Discord and into the lobby and ask us. If you know how to join a Discord. See, I'm new to Discord, so I've never actually done that kind of stuff before. So a lot of you probably know better than I do how to use a Discord. So I'm probably preaching to the choir, but yeah, it's just going to be a fun day. We kind of we originally were going to call it modeling while drinking or drinking while modeling. I don't know. But we're just going to go in there, have fun, get some projects done, and just chat and hang out. So for those people that don't have anything going on New Year's and just want to hang out, have something to do. So all right, so I did that and it kind of looks like that. So, right? I would say so. Cool. Moving on. Oh, that stage is complete. So we have a weird little doodad, which I'm assuming is a hubcap that they did not tell you to put on. Then you've got your little tower ladder 9 that goes on top of the tower, which we probably won't be doing for quite some time. So I'm going to, I just got a new tote out for this kit, and we'll be putting all that stuff in. I'm going to actually go grab that right now. All right, and I'm back. So I just want to, I know this is running a little, see, we're about at an hour and 23 minutes. So I don't know how long I'm going to run. I don't want to run past 12 o'clock. So probably be ending this here within the next 15 minutes or so. It might be a good area to stop. And the nice thing about these, so these are my mag reel fishing boxes, and these are brand new. Of course, I haven't used these for fishing because most of my fishing boxes are pretty gnarly. And I think what I'll do is I'll just put this guy back in its little happy home there and take out another little panel. And there we go. Those parts are safe. So let's just take a real quick look here. Rusty, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, the slot car races are a lot of fun. I enjoy watching those. Yeah, exactly, Muse. It definitely makes things a lot easier, especially for me. If I had stuff everywhere, I would go crazy. So I'm going to take a look here at this one. Stage number 2. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go. We'll do this one another day because I don't know how long it's going to take, and I don't want to hold you guys up for too long. So what I will do here is stop sharing that screen, and I'll come back up to that camera, and there we go. And my coffee's cold. So that's typical. I tend to, hopefully you guys can still hear me okay. I noticed when I switch from my camera that's up here on the boom, if I switch from that microphone to the microphone that's on my HP computer, that it tends to, the volume tends to get lower. I do need a cup warmer. And what's funny is, so with the Eleanor Mustang, I got that heated mug, but I'm going to give that away. And I think that I'll be giving that away for like the 100th or the 500th subscriber. And then for the 1,000th subscriber, they get a actual, I think it's a 130, I don't know what scale, I can't remember. It's a 1-something scale, a fairly decent size replica of the Eleanor Mustang. So that is something that's probably way down the road. But that cup warmer, back to the cup warmer, that's a heated mug. And I was kind of joking in my giveaway video that you could use it as a decal, cup to keep your water warm. And, I think if I was going to have one like that, that's what I would use. But those mug warmers, a lot of the teachers at the school, they have those and they swear by them. I just was told you want one that will turn off on its own. Otherwise, it'll stay on, and then your if you forget your coffee or your tea or water in your mug on top of it, you'll come back the next day and it'll be empty. So that would be me. I would end up leaving it on. So, all right. And just grab a box and work on whatever. All right. So, well, I think it's about 11:28 my time. So I just want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. We have 10 people, it looks like. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. And this is a good learning experience for me, and it's been a lot of fun. And it's not as scary as I initially thought it would be. I've done a couple of live streams now, and I think eventually I'll get it down and kind of get into a roll with things, and just things will be a lot smoother. And hopefully when we can kind of get some shelves up in here, it will be a little bit less cluttered, which kind of, that bugs me a little bit, that everything's just kind of right here in your face. But thanks, Dano. I appreciate that. See, Lewis, cold coffee is no, it is not. Lewis was saying I could do with one for the truck because I end up drinking cold. Yeah, I imagine. Thank you, Rusty. And if you haven't been over to Rusty's channel, he does he basically does something that I think all of us kind of want to do, and turn models into track cars on a little electric track and races them around. And it's a lot of fun, and there is some carnage. Sometimes there is definitely some carnage. So yeah, I hope everybody in chat, Dan, Lewis, Muse, Donnie, and any of you people kind of lurking in the back. Jay, I don't know if you're still here. Thanks for joining me, buddy. Jay's channel, another great channel, Lewis at Model Making Trucker. He does some really, really brilliant work and just finished the Belfast, which was a beautiful, beautiful build. Muse does a lot of really great painting. I'm very jealous of her skills. Hugh Gordon, a really wonderful modeler as well, and he's given me a lot of good advice too when I was kind of struggling with a few different areas and trying to learn new techniques. To me, coming back into this hobby, everything has changed so much, and there's so many new and amazing things that you can do that you couldn't do, 25, 30 years ago. So, and all of you know that. And then Dexter's Crafter, Nat, she has a show on Friday nights, which is definitely a lot of fun if you ever get a chance to. Well, it's Friday nights for them. For us in the U.S., it's kind of in the afternoon. It's 12 o'clock for me, and I'm on California time. So do the math. But yeah, so I just want to thank everybody again for joining me. And it was fun. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys did too. And if you are new to the channel and haven't subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe. And other than that, I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Now I need to cue this up better so I can actually leave with it on this.
Hi.